Hello and welcome to a very brief introduction of today's new product, which is metallic gilding polish. If you haven't seen this before, this truly is a must-have purchase. In the top of the product you will find that it's got a screw top lid, and hidden away up here is a little applicator. Now a lot of people tend to twist these to remove them. Don't, just push against it and it will pop out. Once you have your applicator, do give it a little wash under some hot water. When they're new, that is, because they are coated in a film and it will get rid of that and make them easier to use. After you've used it once, you don't need to worry about washing them. Inside we have this really lovely metallic cream, I like to call it a mousse, that we can use to apply to lots of different products in lots of different ways. So first of all, what I'm going to show you is just a piece of ordinary white card that I already have, and I'm going to take and mint one of these and show you how quickly you can cover over a sheet of card. So literally just rub it back and forth as you wish to colour over the top of it, and you will see that you can take an ordinary piece of card and transform it into beautiful pearl card within seconds. Now one of the nice bits of this product is it actually dries quite quickly, so it isn't quite dry yet, but it will be in a few seconds, and that will stay just as sparkly and gorgeous and pearlescent thereafter. Now another thing you can do with these is colour over flowers with them. So I quite like using them with my die cuts. So I've got a die here and we're just going to dip into this with a couple of different purples. So this one is our brighter purple from the colour collection. And again, I'm just going to brush this over the top, not being too delicate with it, but just give it a little bit of a brush over. And as you can probably already imagine, there are so many uses for this product, so many ways you can use it, and it's just going to become one of their must-have mousses that you're going to have on the edge of your table. We can also use different colours on top of each other. You don't have to wait for them to dry, and it shouldn't damage your sponge in any way, shape or form. So I'm now going to take a darker purple, and I'm just going to brush this over the edges of this, in sort of a distressing kind of way, if that makes sense. We're just going to brush that over just to darken down the edges, and then we're going to take our lighter purple applicator and just brush that in. And all we're doing is sort of giving it a bit of an ombre effect really to our petals, which of course if you do like the ombre styles, you can do this on a sheet of card as well. It doesn't have to be a die cut. So that's just one level of a flower done. I have a card here that I can show you a different style of flower, but the same technique used to create these gorgeous flowers. You'll also notice in the background I've used it over peel off stickers and then removed the stickers so that we end up with this really nice colour toned effect on a sheet of card as well. The leaves have been done using the fern green, and we also have a little bit of a brush over with the silver dream on that one. Just layering the colours again to give you a two-tone effect that hopefully you're going to see come through on screen. Another way that we can use these is with a stencil. So I have a stencil to hand already. I've got a piece of card here that I've just gone over with the mint colour scheme, and I'm just going to hold my stencil in place for this, and I'm going to go back to using that nice light purple or brighter purple. If you are going to use them for a stencil, I'd first of all recommend that you tape your stencil in place, but I don't want to keep you waiting for me to do that. And second of all, instead of brushing the mousse over the top of the stencil, instead we just sponge it through. So literally just daub it over the top of this. And of course you could use this with any stencil on virtually any product. So I'm just going to do a little bit. You don't want to stand there and watch me forever go over this, but that's a little bit. And when we remove this, you can see that it's just gone through our stencil to give us that effect. Now of course, depending on the stencil you're using, the effect will differ. Another way in which we can use this is to stamp with it. So I have another sheet of card here. I've just applied the gold treasure colours to this. So as you can see, it started off as a white sheet, just blended in my gold, and this time I'm going to use the rich red on my stamp over the top of it. So again, if you're going to use these with stamps, pick the mousse up onto the applicator, take your clear stamp, which I have already loaded onto my rocker block, and I'm just going to dab it over the top of the stamp. So again, we're just going to go all over this. Don't be afraid to use quite a bit of it. If you're worried about your stamp or your stencil, it'll wash off really easily. I'm quite messy, so I tend to come back to these things a couple of hours after I've done them and then panic that it's not going to wash off. But the good news with this, just a little bit of hot water and it'll come straight off of your stencils, your stamps, anything like that. Okay, now all we do just to apply our stamp is our normal same use of a rocker block. Just rock that over and you will see that we can transfer our mousse from the stamp and onto our piece of card. Of course, it doesn't have to be on a piece of card that we have coated with the mousse already. It could have been an ordinary piece of card. One of the things I also like doing with these is covering over wood as well. So if you do have any MDF projects that you're working on or any nice little embellishments like this and you'd like to cover them or paint them, this is another good way to do it. So this time we're going to go for a dark blue, just so you can see a couple of the different colours in action today. And we're just going to brush this over the wood and you can see that gives you a really nice cover pretty instantly. So again, a really nice pearlescent finish with very minimal work, and it's going to dry in just a couple of seconds. And then of course we could stencil over the top of that, we could stamp over the top of that. There are so many options we could actually do to work with this product after we've done that. But doesn't that take it from quite a boring, just plain MDF to a really nice coloured piece of wood very quickly? Another thing we can do with it as well is we can use it over the top of funky foam. So if you are somebody who uses funky foam for die cutting, which is a really good use, you can also colour over the top of that as well. You can also use it through your dies. So on this card, I've actually cut out my die cut on a white piece of card. I've painted over it with one shade of the blue, and then I've put the die back on and just stenciled through the holes actually on the die cut itself to give me the second tone of blue on top of that. Over this side you can see I've done more flowers. This time I've used the Pearl Luster, which is one of the really nice essential colours you're going to want. It looks white in the jar, but when we use it, it actually comes out in a really nice white colour scheme. And nicely they've thought of this in two ways. You have a Pearl Luster, which is more like a silver tone, and as you can see it's just really lovely in one go for weddings, things like that. And then we also have another one which is called Enchanted Gold, which is basically a white with a hint of gold. So I'll show you that one as well. And these are really nice base coats for things. Hopefully you're going to see on camera the two different tones that we're picking up in these. So we have our silver one, which was the first one I did, and then our golden tinge on the second one I've done, showing you the two different ones on them. And that's what I've done on the flowers here, and then just brushed the red over the edges. You can see on the background panels I've done that stamped effect again, using the rich red over the gold, and on the inside of the card the gold stamping on top of the rich red. So again, really nice way to use it. I've also used it on my plaque here. On the actual poinsettias, I've gone over them first of all using rich gold, and then gone over the top of it with the red, just to get that two-tone sort of copper effect. Another way in which you can use this product really well is if you wish to just distress the edges of items or tone them in with a little bit of a pearlescent finish. So again, we're just going to pick up this purple one as it's here and easy. And again, you can just work against the edge of your card if you wish to, just to tone in a nice pearlescent finish. If you don't like the effect by doing it like that, you can of course pick your card up and just brush it against the edges as well. But it will just apply a thin layer, a little bit like how we did our flowers earlier. This product is available in several colours, and the more you've got, the more I think you're going to find uses to use them. As you can see by my colour array here, there's a little bit of everything for everybody with these colours, and I think it's a product you're really going to enjoy using. I hope you've enjoyed today's brief introduction to metallic gilding polish. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask us. If you've enjoyed today's video and you wish to watch it again, you can watch it in store on one of our information booths. You can see it on our website, or of course you can watch it on our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.